It's a rain day!
It's a rain day!
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Shadow Artist Experiment. As always, I'm your host, Josh Bell, and with me is the lovely Gabby Creery. Did I do it right?
Yeah.
I'm going to practice this every time, so like...
I was totally good with being just Gabby. I was embracing my Gabbiness.
I like to think that by the time we get to like season 5, like, I'm going to finally get your name down right.
It's just I will actually be able to say Creery.
Creery. No. Creery.
Career. It's career. Like
career.
Like Josh's career with an E on the end.
I'm very careery.
Exactly.
I'm very careery.
You got it! You're very careery!
So today we're talking about Julia Cameron's Walking in This World, Chapter 1.
Chapter 1.
And I have the book here, so...
Discovering a sense of...
Origin! So I love that. I love the fact that each of the chapters is discovering a sense of.
We're out of recovering, and we're into discovering, which the curious Gabby and me loves.
Yeah, I feel that too. And like, once again, like we discussed it last week, like I love how she puts the tasks, like she makes you stop.
She embeds them.
Yeah, and I feel...
She's like, hello, task now.
Yeah, and I feel really good about that actually. Like, so when I'm going through the
book... You like somebody to trick you into it?
Yeah, kind of. I like the trick.
Or surprise?
Well, it's more along the lines of like when...
It's the surprise inside.
It makes me actually...
Come on, it's the surprise inside.
I don't know the reference.
What?
I'm not getting it.
Like Jack in the Box?
Oh, yeah.
Or Cracker Jacks, sorry, not
Cracker Jacks.
Cracker
Yes.
Jacks.
But Jack in the Box is a surprise inside too. Yeah.
It's the surprise inside.
Yeah. So, this week was all about kind of like setting yourself up for success, kind of like how it is when you're like setting.
She literally says, begin where you're at.
Yeah, and I love that because I think a lot of us always forget that. Like,
you and Michael's website is literally beginning, right?
Yeah.
How we began?
Yes, how we began.
So this must be very like how we begin has to really resonate with you.
Yeah, so where we got the how we begin from, which is actually just really funny, is that Michael was doing one of his original channels. Like, it's funny. So today we're actually, like, this actually connects directly. So today we're recording at Van Vorst Park because it is raining outside, and Gabby's does not have an awning, so we decided to just do it in a gazebo.
And they're doing construction, and there's literally fire floating down from Gabby's fire escape.
Oh, you lit your house on fire?
No, they're doing work on the fire escape. So they're doing the metal work, and they're little sparks.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
Floating.
I mean, I wouldn't want it to be on my head, but it's kind of cute.
I've only walked through it 3 times today. I think I do have like one little burn mark.
Lawsuit. So I used to live, like, during COVID, I used to live like 2 blocks up from here. Yeah, and I was paid to live there, so it was super nice.
Ooh, I want to get paid to live someplace.
Yeah. So when Michael was doing a lot of his like original channeling stuff, and he channeled like one of the ending messages, and this was how we begin.
And this is how we begin.
So like when we were talking about like when we were going through the videos and things like that, we were really talking about how to name it, and it's like this is how we begin. So now it's like everything is how we begin. Like how we begin our spiritual journey is like our Facebook group.
And then today we have Discovering a Sense of Origin, which is literally how we begin. And she's giving the roadmap to how to begin.
Yeah, she really is.
It's the first little, she does all these little subsections.
Yeah,
is setting out.
So
like it's like we're starting on a road trip together. We're setting out.
Yeah.
I want to take a road trip with you.
Oh my God, it would be so much fun. But
we have a good time.
But we have to take both dogs and my husband, just so you're aware. Because it's like literally
that's a lot of baggage.
It's the baggage that comes with me, girl. Well, you have to take your...
I don't have to take my dog.
You don't have to take your dog, but...
I have a daughter for the dog.
Yeah, but I think
I took the dog for 2 weeks while she went to Italy.
Yeah, but
that buys me a weekend road trip if I want one.
However,
damn it.
I don't think so, because remember, our dogs love each other, and Mia would be like, oh, you should take Kelly with you.
No.
No?
No. I could say, oh, you should just have Appa with you.
Oh.
works the same way.
I don't think Mia and Appa.
And Kelly doesn't like the car. We'd have to CBD her every day. She throws up.
Yeah, that's true. So
unless you drive a Porsche.
Oh, Jesus.
Because Eileen picks me up. Did I tell you that story?
No.
Okay, so my Eileen, who's also in our Irene. I called her Eileen.
You did.
Oh shit. Irene, who's also in our book group.
Irene, apologies if you ever watch this.
Yep. And she picked me. We should have stayed with the pretend name. Oh well.
Eileen, Irene.
She tells me
Sisters.
that she wants me to come down for the weekend, and I give her every excuse. And I'm really worried about Kelly. And finally, I'm like, I really can't go because Kelly throws up in the car every single time. And she's like, shut up, bitch. I'm coming to get you.
Yep.
Which, actually, if you know Irene, she would never say shut up, bitch. I'm coming
Eileen would, though. She's
that
bitch.
Yeah, that bitch. So she shows up, and I'm like, I gave Kelly a full CBD. I only give her half or a fourth for anything, but I gave her a full CBD trait. Whoop that up, baby. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna do it. And Irene shows up, and her husband's, they took off for Finland, her son and her husband. Brand spanking new Porsche.
I didn't hear this. Oh my God.
I mean, so new that, the little Porsche emblem is still shining on the tires. The black leather, it was unscathed. Like, it had not seen human touch, brand new Porsche. And I'm looking at Kelly, and Kelly's looking at me. And Kelly is like, yeah, it's nice in here.
That's amazing.
And she didn't throw up.
She didn't throw up.
She did not throw up.
Well, it's also the CBD. The thing is that I think Kelly throws up in those situations. Like, what that tells me.
It's anxiety.
It's anxiety.
It's a lot of anxiety.
Your dog is a very anxious dog.
She is! She's my dog!
Yeah, it's true. What I do want to say is I feel like it's, like, on a tangent. I do think, like, it just started raining. Like, if you can't hear it, it is pouring right now.
It's beautiful. It's really good background for us
today. It is. But it's also, like, I also feel like setting out is perfect because the water, the idea of rain has that, like, baptismal quality. So as we're going on this great journey together.
Let the rain wash over you.
Let the rain come down and take us away.
Except that he has to take the train back and I have to take my scooter back.
Yeah, and
it's going to be very entertaining.
It's going to be very wet, which I'll need to figure out. But so
wet is how we begin.
Wet. This is how we begin. Wet.
Wet.
So
that's kind of how it all started, to tell you the truth.
It constantly.
Your mom.
Let's not go there. Let's not. So
it was a big explosion of wetness.
So when talking about setting out, I think it's great to talk about what reasons we don't set out, and I think that's one of the things she sets up with. Like, why aren't we starting? Well, I'm too old. Well, I'm too young. I'll do it when I'm older. Like, that's something that those people do.
I've definitely got into the I'm too old.
Yeah, I feel like...
Reign of things, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we lean on that a lot. Like, we lean on, I always do, like...
Yawn.
I'm too lazy. You know what's really funny? No matter
what... Do you yawn in the rain?
No, what it is like anytime I record a video, I fucking yawn.
Oh, okay.
Like, when I get the...
I'm wearing them out, folks. I'm wearing them out.
Yeah, she's wearing me out. So, but I feel like these kind of things are exactly what she says. They're just blocks. They're not important. They're not true. Like, because she goes into all these stories about, like, 40-year-olds who are just getting started with...
That actually goes with the book group book. So... The Choice is the last book that we read, and she's a Holocaust survivor. And it wasn't until she was in her 40s that she began work as a psychologist. She didn't go back to school till middle of her 30s or later. Didn't get her last degree till she was like my age, and start treating people.
I love how you just made yourself sound like you were like 60. Like
I am, aren't I?
Gabby, you are in your early 30s. I did not mean to say 30s. I meant to say 40s, but 30s, let's go with it. Gabby, you're in your early 30s now.
Yeah.
I don't know how you have 20-year-old twins.
I don't either.
You...
24-year-old twins?
Yeah, exactly. Jesus. But yeah, like, I feel like we always get stuck on these things. Like, and if somebody like that, like, who's a Holocaust survivor, can find... Jesus,
Sleepy
can find a new
boy.
purpose or a new direction. I wouldn't even say a new purpose because
Well, and what she was saying is she didn't even figure out how to stop pushing it all down
yeah,
until she was that age.
yeah, Gabby, stop pushing it all down.
I know.
But I feel like that's
know.
that's what's great about this.
Gotta feel to
About
heal,
these books.
folks. Feel to heal.
Yeah, and it's tough. Like I'm a tough person. I have been called stubborn so often by my husband in the last month. And granted, he would know. You know. You've met me. I'm a stubborn person. But like, it is a trigger for me to be called stubborn. And like, especially to be called stubborn when I'm already irritated is like, it's not a trigger. It is like a explosion.
Yeah.
I get so irritated and angry about it. And it's one of those things that
So let me ask you, how can you be stubborn in a great way?
how can I be stubborn in a great way?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And that was something that was actually said about me by my ex, that I was stubborn, that I wouldn't give up, like.
Yeah. So.
And I would.
What's really funny?
I would push.
what is great about that is like, I have these moments of like, what was it the other day? I went to the grocery. Like it was 6:30 and we had an appointment at 7, right? And Michael was like, Josh, we have a 7 o'clock appointment. It was 2 weeks ago, on Wednesday. And he's like, I was like, well, I'm going to go to the grocery store and get a few things. And he's like, there's no fucking way you're going to be back by 7 o'clock. Because the grocery store is two like avenues away.
Ooh.
So it's, like.
City blocks.
Yeah, 2 city blocks. But I was like, yeah, I can do it. I get my cart and everything. He's like, there's no way. And so literally talking about being stubborn, it's like,
you had to do it just to prove it that you could
could have talked me out of going. Instead, he talked me into going, getting everything, checking out, and being home with 6 minutes to spare. I know. I was like, I don't know how this happened. I don't know how I made this go. But like
that's miraculous.
But that's the same kind of thing as like not good enough. Is like when we put ourselves to these situations and we allow ourselves to actually do it, like no matter if it's coming from stubbornness or coming from whatever, like we're really getting started on the path that we want to be on.
That was what I was getting at, is that stubbornness can just be willpower. It can just be willing it to happen and making things happen and not letting go. And so life is a balance between letting go and not letting go.
Yeah.
And when somebody's calling you stubborn, they're saying, why won't you relinquish? Why won't you let go of it? And oftentimes it's letting go of that. They're asking you to let go of something that's toxic.
Yeah, and it's and it's not like they might be coming at a place from anger, which is but it's because of that. It's like you are overstepping my boundary and you're being a dick about it.
And think of all the times that you have held on to something and it has come to good things. Look at how hard you held on to Michael.
Yeah.
You guys went through some true shit.
Yeah.
Like, it was rough.
Granted, the stubbornness probably led us into that to begin with as well. But but let's look at the ending, which ended out well.
And it led you out of it too.
Yeah, that's true.
And to each other, and to having that partnership and are you going to be stubborn about holding on to that?
Yeah, definitely.
Damn straight you will.
Damn straight I am.
Damn straight you will.
Okay, so here's actually the stubbornness topic leads right into the first task that we did, which is what the hell, might as well.
I love that. Yay, Julia. What the hell, might as well.
So the task...
Which used to be me. I know, you never got to meet what the hell, might as well, Gabby.
Yeah,
I want to be that Gabby again.
No, you don't. You want to be a new Gabby that's better. Because you don't want to be the...
I miss jumping.
Yeah, but you also don't miss being a people pleaser.
I don't.
Yeah. So this task was to basically do 20 creative actions that you could take. And it's really funny. When the first time I did this, which was probably back in August, I mentioned like painting our spare bedroom, which is like the one thing off the list that I know got done. It's like that was like
fantastic.
So we got it painted. But yeah, like I love doing like little creative things that like, oh, we can do. Like Josh, sketch something. So I can sketch something in my book right now, just like draw out a sketch, or getting this podcast done, just going out and recording it, getting it started. What are some things on your list, Gabby?
I did say hanging art in my room, which I did.
Yay! Which piece did you put up?
My dad's photography.
Ooh,
I
nice.
re-put them up. And I did say actually organizing my room, which I did a ton. I've done 3 days of organizing my room. And
Yeah.
there's still more to go.
You know, that's how it is sometimes, though. Like, I remember.
I let this depression go on way too long. It got
Yeah,
really.
but you know what's great, though, is that you're not in it anymore.
Brr.
You're, like, moving out of it.
I'm moving out of it.
Yeah. And, like, I feel like cleaning your bedroom is definitely a part of that cleansing period of it, too. It's not that you're out of it yet, because obviously you're still letting some things go, I'm sure, but, like,
I'm letting the rain wash over me.
Yes, letting the rain wash over you.
Yeah, wash it out. Like
So-
sage it.
Yeah, sage it. So what's really interesting is you brought up willpower a little bit earlier, and I feel like there is, you were talking about the balance between holding on and letting go, but I feel like there's a balance between willpower and discipline, and that's what Julia is trying to teach us, especially when she moves into our next session, which is commitment. So I feel like there is a certain willpower to get started, and that can get you going initially, but it's creating the discipline that can move you forward. Like, I'm having a real hard time right now with not eating out, spending, and exercise. Like, I've put on like 30 pounds, which isn't a lot. Like, I don't look unhealthy. I just like feel unhealthy because I know like how skinny I have been, and like, granted how unhealthy I was when I was skinny, like coming off of the drugs and stuff. But like, I don't have a healthy like exercise routine, and I don't have a healthy diet, and I know that's contributing to like me not sleeping well, me not feeling well about myself, me not sleeping well, me repeating myself. Yeah, so I know that like that's all.
It's
such
so
a big...
funny that this comes up because the meditation that I led all week this week was inspired by that type of imagery.
Yeah.
And I was on this call, and it's powerhouse people. The person that started the call out is my mentor. She's younger than me, but runs her own theater company in New York.
Yeah.
I mean, $1 million productions, and she started it from scratch.
That's your Monday or Tuesday?
That's
night,
my Monday night call, which I'm not going to be able to do anymore, unfortunately.
Oh,
I
I'm
think.
sorry.
And the beginning of the call, she was going to bring to the hot seat that call her weight.
Yeah.
And then decided against it. And she had a very, I've tried everything. I guess so I'm going to do hypnosis. I don't want to discuss it. I'm going to eat my fucking cookie, but I'm going to punish myself about it all fucking day about eating this goddamn cookie. And we're going to discuss it. And then every woman and gay man on the call is going to talk about how their weight really bothers them too. And
Yeah.
And so my meditation was actually inspired by the choice. She talks about how in treatment she asks one of her patients to get really small, like consciousness small, go inside her own ear and just marvel at the inner mechanisms and love on herself. Give some love. I start with the ear because that's sound, but you want to crawl inside your own ear. And then,
yeah, you don't want to crawl inside other places.
Yeah, you're going to crawl into the ear, and you're just going to marvel at it. And then when you come from the inside, instead of the outside, and you look at it, I mean, look at the inner workings of your heart and your lungs, and all those atoms and ions and valves and mechanisms that go into making you. How can you not love yourself?
I don't know. I don't love that you use mechanism like 6 times. No, I'm kidding. No, that's exactly it. That's like,
Okay,
or at least
circuitry.
even if it's not loving, you're just marveling at it.
Yeah, being
Like-
curious about it, looking at it.
You
And
love that word,
honestly,
curious.
I do love the word curious. I use it a lot.
Yeah, but I think,
But honestly, it is to get to self-love.
yeah, and I feel like that, like feeling the grandeur of it and feeling the marvel of it.
I mean, it's pretty damn magical when you get
Yeah.
down to how, I mean, starting with the ear, that you can hear sound and that there's an eardrum and a canal and la la la.
Yeah,
La, la.
I need to get Q-tips. I know,
He's
weird.
like, I need to get
I need to
earplugs
clean
so I
my
can
ear. Yeah.
not
I need to-
hear
so I
Gabby
cannot
for...
hear Gabby. No, so yeah, no, I feel that. I feel like marveling at the world and marveling at at yourself. And I feel like that, like, I feel like, based on our conversation, like, with you, I feel like you should be, constantly having that in your head, just, like, marveling at that, because that might help you, like, I don't know if it was in our last podcast or if it was back when we were still doing the Prosperous Heart, but talking about how it very much creates that idea of a bigger issue. You know what I mean? It suddenly makes everything else seem so small when you realize how marvelous and how intense your body works.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Such a great. I mean.
And why what actually really comes to me is like why you shouldn't smoke. I'm not smoking. Like 2 people, like you and Michael, both in the last week thought I picked up smoking again, and it's like I ended up like running, and so when I got off, like when I finally got to the train and I called Michael, I was like coughing. And I was like, oh my God, he's going to think I'm smoking. He's like, were you smoking? I was like, no. And then I was coughing at home again. And I was like, no, I'm not smoking. I just literally ran from the brewery to Marin Boulevard.
Well, and when you give it up, it takes your body a little while to get all that gook out. I see, so Andrew picked up smoking when everything fell apart, when things really started to fall apart between us. And for that matter, with his wife as well.
Yeah.
And I really see it as like an internalization of the guilt and shame. Like you're literally breathing toxins into your body. Like I see it as self-hate.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, is I feel the same. Like lately, I've been starting to feel the same way about drinking soda. Like I know you don't like drinking soda, but like I've been drinking so much soda lately. But it's like the only like sweet thing that I've really been like really giving I say that and it's like I already know I'm lying to you.
I think it's 16 spoonfuls of sugar. Try eating 16 spoonfuls of sugar one time.
Oh my God, I would like to.
And you'd be like throwing up from it. So just try it. Try that on one time.
Yeah.
And see how you feel about it.
Well, it's like I got in the habit, like I go on these like rise and fall. What is the matter with me?
You are so sleepy. I think it really is the weather.
It might be the weather.
It's fall. You want to nap.
The upside is I feel like we
feel like a cat.
I do feel like we have a chance though. Like if we time this right, we're gonna be able to finish this video and make it home before it starts raining.
Yes.
Or I'm at least gonna make it to the train.
The power of mindset, folks.
The power of mindset.
The power of mindset.
So,
I'll be scooting through some puddles. It'll be fantastic.
Yeah. So just making our way through the chapter.
Yeah. Express yourself.
Yes, it's the express yourself, which was a fun exercise.
How does that song go?
Don't stop for second best, baby. Put yourself to the test. You know you got to express yourself. Yeah. I used to.
Little Madonna for you.
What's great is there's actually a mashup of that and Born This Way. That she did a few years ago, and then she ended it with "She's Not Me," which was great.
I love that.
It was very catty. So for the Express Yourself exercise, which was a lot of fun for me, it was basically coming up with I think 10 words that like resonated with you, 10 adjectives, and then giving yourself an ad, which I loved. It was so much fun because you could do some wordplay.
I didn't like it. That's so funny. I was fine with coming up with the 10 adjectives, and then I literally when I reviewed everything, I'm like, I'm not doing the ad again.
Why?
I was just I'm like, I did that. I'm not doing it again.
Why? Why are you so resistant to it? You know what it is?
Don't know. And I did it.
Self-love. Self-love.
Well, and then it goes even deeper into I need to be advertising all the time and putting myself out there in that way, and I just am so resistant to doing it.
Well, and I think that's part of it, but it's also like you have to. This exercise actually asks you to advertise a very truthful aspect of you. You know what I mean? And like, depending on how you write the ad, like, it can be really scary to be that person out there in the world. You know? It's funny, I'm just going to bring mine out because I happen to have it right here in this notebook.
Did you put sassy down for you, Josh?
No, I did not.
Ah, man.
Okay, so it's an ad, so it's like a 10-word ad. Witness and indulge in the playful, quirky, inquisitive creator. And I thought of you when I was writing it because it had such...
I am quirky.
Yeah, it had such connaissance to it. quirky, inquisitive,
Yeah.
creator, like that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like
Onomatopoeia.
yeah, the onomatopoeia-ish. Well, onomatopoeia is like boom. That's an onomatopoeia. Consonance is the assonance is the vowels, and consonance is the consonants. Consonance with my inquisitive creatorness. I went to school for that. Let me use those words when I can. I am spending a lot of money paying for that, so let me use it. But yeah, it was a fun article, and I think like for you, it really kind of sets that stage though as well in terms of like, okay, not necessarily you need to do marketing because we all need to do marketing, but it's also like how like looking at how you market yourself, I guess, is a good way to do it, and maybe that you can find a way that you like to do it again. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what.
When I first started really marketing, like when I got onto social media, literally what got me
like
onto social media was Pi Day. And we wore fun, and I did it with my bestie, and we wore fun Pi Day hats, and we went bar hopping with the Pi Bake-Off sign-up sheets, and then we posted about it, and it was always fun.
Yeah.
It was always, everything was about pie, and pie is delicious, so how could it not be a good time? And we had incredibly successful Pi Days.
Yeah, I remember you, I feel like you were really disappointed the first year you came back, like that year, the year of 2021, when you did the Pi Day, and it just wasn't like a...
Yeah, we did the online Pi Day.
Yeah.
And you're not actually eating pie, smelling pie, being around pie. Yeah. It's just not quite the same.
Yeah, I'm also not a huge fan of pie. I like pie when pie's around, but...
Are you a cake man?
I'm kind of a cheesecake man, yeah.
Cheesecake. Now that's interesting. That's kind of a combination of cake and pie.
It's true. Like a bisexual,
Golden Girls.
It goes both ways.
It's very Golden Girls of you.
Yeah.
They always sat down at the end to cheesecake.
I love cheesecake so much.
Which Golden Girl would you be?
Rose.
Which am I? I'm certainly not Blanche. Am I Dorothy? Am I really Dorothy? Oh my God! I don't want to. No.
You're more like here. Actually, here's a really good way to view. You are Dorothy from Sophia's perspective. So you're not even really Dorothy. You're like this. Yeah.
At least I'm not the crotchety old one.
Yeah. She was actually the youngest one of them.
Was
the actress,
she?
Yeah.
Really?
The actress was, yeah. That's what I always heard.
Interesting.
I didn't check my facts, guys. I could be wrong, just so you know. So the last part of this is
do nothing.
Well, no, she has the snow chapter, which I love.
Oh, the snow.
Yeah, because she's talking about like it's funny that we're doing it out here, like as we're going
enjoying the rain.
Yeah, because we're actually out here, like
being in the weather.
This is way more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be with the weather.
True.
Yeah.
True story.
Because I literally looked at this morning and
it's
I texted Gabby and I was like, oh my God, it is. It's supposed to rain. What are we gonna do? And she's like, do a no rain dance, which is not the answer I wanted. I wanted like a definitive, like, okay, where else can we go? What else can we do? But then when I walked by the park, I like looked in and I saw the gazebo and I was like, well, if no one's there, it was like it's kind of the perfect place.
It's really beautiful.
Although next time I would pack a butt pillow, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would pack a butt pillow, and then I would happily be here.
Is your butt feeling it?
Yeah, my butt's kind of feeling it. The bolster, I'd probably bring my yoga bolster, actually.
Ooh, a yoga, yeah, but that's a lot to pack.
Not really, it kind of fits
on the scooter.
Oh yeah, on the scooter. You can put it on a backpack though. Like, you should get one of those yoga backpacks. I feel like...
I have a yoga backpack. It wouldn't carry a bolster, it just carries my mat.
Oh, no, the yoga backpack actually carries a yoga mat, bolster, and blocks. Yeah, they're out there, I looked. See, we're teaching each other things as we go about this. So, yeah, no, but what I really loved about the snow part is she's talking about, like, looking out her window and how she compared it to so many writers who are, like, looking out their window and, like, capturing the world from that glance. And it really brings back those, the idea of Emily Dickinson comes up. Mm-hmm. Like, the idea that she was kind of confined to her house for a lot of her life.
I heard a fly buzz when I died.
But she was always looking out her window and looking around her and taking in everything. And that's what we do as creatives, and that's what we're searching for as creatives, is like a way to view the world that is our own. Because everyone's viewing
our own lens, our own window.
Lens. Our own camera lens, yes, yes, yes.
Seeing it through your lens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and your lens too, when you look at it as a lens, is also your own specific, unique viewpoint. And she talks about in the chapter that the world is in need of your viewpoint.
Yeah, yeah.
That you do have something to offer, whether you're beginning or in the middle or at the end, wherever you are on your journey, that the world truly does need more creatives.
Yeah, and
it needs more artists.
And I feel like that's something that we always seem to forget, and we all kind of like we've internalized this idea that there's not enough. And not just us.
Yeah.
But like the way the media puts
that
out,
we aren't enough, so therefore don't do it.
Yeah, and there's not enough out there. We're not enough, but there's not enough out there. So like, you need to be struggling for everything you get. And I think part of it is like, with the discipline that she tries to teach through the morning pages and stuff like that, which we'll get to at the end. I didn't forget. But to really remember that there is enough. We are enough. Mm-hmm. I am enough. You are enough.
Being in the flow of it, abundance.
Yeah, but it's also learning to put yourself in that place.
Yeah, being in the flow of acceptance and receivership and all that.
Which leads to the final task, which is do nothing.
Yes.
Which I feel like is all about being in receivership. And granted, like I did this when I first went through the chapter, I did it, and then I did it again this morning. And when I did it this morning,
I do a hell of a lot of mething.
Would you say mething?
Nothing. I do a hell of a lot of nothing.
I heard mething, and I was like, oh my God, Gabby, where did that come from? Like, yeah. How do I just know this about you now? But the idea of like really meditating is what it comes. She's literally teaching you to meditate with a mantra of I am enough, and I feel like that brings it full circle with bringing yourself into that awareness. So. We have check-ins. So I'll check in first.
Okay.
So this week I've gotten 6 out of 7 of my morning pages. Last week I did miss 2 days. And like I said before that, it's been like a week. So then I did my artist date, which was I watched Gargoyles and read comic books last night, which was my entire purpose. What I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I did it. It was good. It was a lot of fun, actually. Like, honestly, I had a little bit of trouble with it because I was like, I set the hour aside, and then my gaming ran a little bit long. Not that I broke up the hour, but then I decided I was hungry in the middle of it, so I went and got food, and then came back, and then I read more after. Like, I had a meeting at 9:00, which was a late meeting, but then after the meeting, I read some more, so I feel like I got my hour in. It was a little more divided than I would normally like to do it, but I got it in. I did the stuff that I wanted to do. I ate McDonald's, which wasn't healthy, but whatever. It was delicious. So that was my artist date. I got my walk-in. When I got off work on Tuesday, I got off a stop early, went to the bank, and then walked home. So, which she talks about doing, so I did that, which was very specific. I had to talk myself out of picking up my phone, which was tougher than I thought it would be, and just walk and pay attention. So I've taught yoga the last 2 weeks.
That was our agreement. We took on one extra.
Yes. And then, so I did everything. I also started counting, which was, so in Julia's other, I think it's chapter.
Prosperous Heart, counting.
Yeah, so she does it throughout the entirety of the Prosperous Heart. But during, I think it's chapter 4 in The Artist's Way, she has you count for a week, which is basically all of your expenses just written down in a notebook. I started doing it on my my notepad. I've been doing it every day for the last 5 days. I just felt especially with how I'm feeling about money, it's good to know where the money is going, where the money's coming in, and things like that. So I started doing that. So before I do the reveal of what I'm doing for an artist date next week.
All right.
What's your check-in?
All right. I have done all 7 days.
All 7 days. Both of us 7 days. What? Okay.
So
that was great. It's been a long time since we've both done 7 days.
I'm back in. You know, actually what made a difference for me is I have been doing morning pages with my friend Nirupa.
Yeah,
and we started doing that together, and the accountability. It's 3 days a week. It's not all 7. It's just 3 days. But once you're in that pattern.
Yeah, it makes it super easy.
And it makes it super easy. And the artist date was, did I tell you I went to see all the murals on the bus and all of that?
No, but I saw it on Facebook.
Okay. So I went on a bus ride with my friend Jane. I haven't been on a school bus with Jane.
She's so funny.
Since
I haven't been on a school bus with Jane. That's funny. Like
since our kids were like toddlers. Well, maybe we might have done some LCCS field trips. So middle school. My kids are now graduated from college. LCCS. Learning Community Charter School.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Liberty Science Center, LSC.
I probably rode a bus with Jane and we went to Liberty State Park too on our whole field trip together. So I took a field trip with Jane.
Okay.
And it was super marvelous. And she knows all the mural list and all the murals in Jersey City.
She's so well connected downtown.
She's so freaking well. She's always been that way too.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah.
Like Jane has just always been Jane. She's always been the cool mom. Mm-hmm. I'm a pretend cool mom. Jane is the cool mom. It's okay. I'm okay with it.
I feel like you look at your kids and everybody thinks you're the cool mom just because of how your kids turned out. So it doesn't really matter.
They are amazingly wonderful. They are so superior.
Yeah.
But any mom says that.
Yeah.
That's why we're cool.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's great. That's
I went on. That was my art. Literally seeing art.
Yeah.
With Jane and and there was like secret murals. Can you imagine? The mural the size of like a 3-story building being hidden in Jersey City.
Where was it hidden?
It's in the Heights. There's a secret garden with a secret mural.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's a massively huge by one of the most popular mural people that did downtown, where the original mural used to be and then got painted over.
Yeah, imagine. What'd you say?
The Christopher Columbus one downtown.
Yeah.
He did another one, and I think it was Henry Hudson.
Yeah.
And it's hidden.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
Awesome.
Isn't that cool?
That's cool. Yeah, no, that sounds like a lot of fun.
It was really fun. I took 2 friends along with me, and it was super fun. So yeah, I did that, and then I walked back from it, and I texted you on the walk back.
Okay.
So that was my 20-minute walk.
Look at this. We did it all.
I did it all. It was like a one-day affair, and then you're not gonna. I'm sure you're gonna negate this, but I feel that you can maybe count it as half a date.
Why?
It may be a whole date.
Why?
You're not going to like the person.
I'm probably not going to like the person.
You're not going to like the person.
You can tell me the person later. We don't need to know. Well, why am I counting it as half a date?
I took because I work with him, and I would never really date somebody I work with.
Doesn't count.
You work with your husband.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I also went on dates with my husband too. I go on dates with my husband.
I took him to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. We had a bottle of wine. He was a virgin. It was super fun.
He was Rocky Horror Virgin?
Rocky Horror Virgin.
Yeah, no. You don't count if you're not actually going to go on a date with him. Like, you can't count it on a date. Unless you actually want to...
You don't know until you date somebody if you're ever going to date him again. You have to do the first date no matter what, right?
Yeah, but you also said, I would never date him. You said that in the statement. So, like, how can you count it a date if you said that I will never date?
I took somebody to Rocky Horror and had a bottle of wine. I really think that counts.
It doesn't. We'll poll the audience. So let us know. Let us know in the comments if that counts. Somebody that she said she would never date as a date.
Come on, Josh.
Okay.
You have to give me some credit.
I give you the fact that you still have 4 more weeks to go on this first date instead of trying to pawn it off on week 1. So, okay, so let's talk artist dates for next week. So do you have a plan?
I'm going tonight.
Oh, what are you doing?
I'm going dancing.
Okay.
I'm going to House of Yes, folks. House of Yes is open. It's in Brooklyn. It's going to be so fun. I'm face paints and probably some lights and sparkles.
You can meet someone to take you out on a date there. Just saying.
I told you I'm wearing Doc Martens. He's like, well, you can meet a girl, Gabby.
You can meet a girl, Gabby.
You have short hair and you're wearing Doc Martens.
Jokes. No, you might meet somebody. Like, leave it open. Like, leave open the possibility. I do, like, granted, I know, like, I've never been to the House of Yes, but I kind of know, like, what the clientele is. So it might surprise you. It might also very much be exactly what you think it is and not surprise you at all, which is, but, you know, somebody might surprise you.
If I kiss somebody on the dance floor, will you count it as a date?
No. No, I will not. If you kiss someone after they buy you dinner.
Dinner has to be involved.
Somebody has to pay for
me
dinner. You have to plan it beforehand.
Wait, I could buy somebody dinner. Let's evolve this. It does not have to be bought for me. No.
Dinner has to be bought is what I like. Doesn't you can buy dinner or they can buy dinner.
Involved.
Dinner has to be bought. It has to be planned. So it has to be planned. Like our artist dates have to be planned. Yeah.
I can't have a spontaneous date.
I think we'd have to discuss it. I think the option is there for a spontaneous date, but it has to be so. Okay, so we can discuss this now actually. So the spontaneous date would be like, let's say you meet somebody at the House of Yes, right? Mm-hmm. And you go on some sort of spontaneous date.
Okay.
Which the spontaneous date means it cannot be at the House of Yes. So you have to go somewhere else. Like,
okay,
food has to be involved. So yes, if you meet somebody and you go out for dinner afterwards, that constitutes.
Okay.
And that's it. It's got to constitute. It has to feel.
There has to be food. I love how Josh is like, there has to be food involved.
Well, because the thing is, like, when you're going on a date, I guess coffee would count.
Okay.
Like if you guys go get coffee, it also has to here's the
food
big
or
one.
beverage involved,
and it has to only be the two of you. Because I know you're going to House of Yes with somebody, so like, it's really hard to get that date feeling. Like you have to look back on it and be like, that's a date. Like, that's actually a date. I knew that was a date. I didn't fucking talk to the guy again because he was kind of weird, but it was a date.
Okay.
I don't know. That feels like right stipulations.
Okay.
I am going to go to New York next Wednesday, and I'm going to take 100 pictures on my phone.
100?
At least 50, but 100 pictures. Well, because I have to be realistic. Like, it depends on how late. Like, I'm planning on going in with Michael. Michael has a show, so I'm going to go into the city with him and him and John. I want to go to the West Village and take pictures.
Okay.
Which is the goal.
Cool.
Which I think is a great artist date.
I think that's so artsy.
Yeah, and
I love that. I want to do that sometime. I'm going to copy you.
You can come with me next Wednesday. It just counts as a second artist date, but you probably need 2 artist dates a week.
I probably do.
Which I think is fine because I feel like even if we go, as long as we decide what we're doing, that would actually be really fun. Is if we just both go in the city and then plan to meet up in an hour, like at Washington Square Park, and then just go take pictures and exchange pictures. Mm-hmm. That'd be fun. Mm-hmm. That'd be a fun date on 2 different. Yeah.
Hey, does that count as a date?
It does not count as a date. There's no intention of me ever.
No food involved.
Oh God, yes. We can go get coffee.
See, date.
It doesn't count. I am not a romantic interest.
You didn't stipulate romantic interest. Everybody I date is not going to be a romantic interest. I hate to say it, Josh, but...
Yeah, but you date to find that spark, to feel that spark. Like, that's what a date is the idea...
Okay, Sparky.
The idea... Oh, I like being called Sparky.
I like it, too. I like
very
it.
me.
Yeah, catalyst energy, Sparky.
Sparky, okay.
Yes, you're my Sparky.
So... this was the Shadow Artist Experiment. As always, I'm your host, Josh, with the lovely Gabby. And you can find me on Instagram at howwebegin or joshua.t.bell. You can find Gabby at Gabby Creery. At Gabby Creery. I just sound
True
like...
story.
Yeah. Or if you have any questions about any of her activities, you can always email her at Gabby Creery Wellness. See?
At gmail.com.
At gmail.com. And, yeah.
Get in the inquiry.
Get in the inquiry. As always, we'll see you guys next week.
I like that. Inquiry.
In...
Query.
Query. Bye, everybody.
Bye.